Imagine the desperation. A young man, fleeing from authorities, makes the split-second decision to risk his life on a busy highway. That's precisely what happened in Virginia, leading to a tragic and controversial death. On October 25, 2025, a 24-year-old Honduran national, Jose Castro-Rivera, died after being struck by a vehicle on Interstate 264 in Virginia. The incident occurred near the Military Highway interchange around 11 a.m. Local time. Virginia State Police, VSP, responded to reports of a vehicle-pedestrian accident and found Castro-Rivera deceased at the scene after being hit by a 2002 Ford pickup truck. According to the preliminary VSP investigation, Castro-Rivera was attempting to cross the interstate to escape U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE agents, who had initiated a traffic stop of the vehicle he was in. VSP emphasized that while they responded to the accident, they were not involved in the initial pursuit by ICE. The pedestrian crash remains under investigation by VSP. A spokesperson for the Department of Homeland Security, DHS, offered a different perspective. They stated that ICE stopped the vehicle as part of a targeted, intelligence-based immigration enforcement operation. The DHS claims that officers, upon determining that the occupants were in the United States illegally, began detaining them. But here's where it gets controversial. The DHS claims Castro-Rivera resisted heavily and fled the scene onto a busy highway, creating a significant safety risk to himself and the general public. They maintain that a passing vehicle then struck Castro-Rivera. The DHS also noted that an ICE officer administered CPR before Castro-Rivera died and informed the other detained individuals of his passing. It's worth noting that this incident occurred amidst a series of increased federal immigration enforcement actions across the country. Recent examples include a raid in Portland, where ICE agents reportedly targeted the wrong home, and another operation in New York City's Canal Street, where 9 African immigrants suspected of selling counterfeit goods were taken into custody. This Canal Street raid was also described by DHS as a targeted, intelligence-driven enforcement operation. Adding to the context, ICE recently deported approximately 140 Venezuelan nationals in a removal flight on October 15th. This shows an increasing trend in deportations. And this is the part most people miss. While ICE maintains these are targeted operations focused on public safety and criminal activity, critics argue that they create an atmosphere of fear within immigrant communities, potentially leading individuals to make desperate decisions, such as fleeing onto a highway. Some might argue that regardless of immigration status, everyone deserves to be treated with dignity and respect, and that law enforcement should prioritize de-escalation tactics. This tragic event raises several important questions. Was the level of force used by ICE proportionate to the situation? Could this tragedy have been avoided with different tactics? What responsibility, if any, does ICE bear for Castro-Rivera's death, considering his actions were a direct result of their enforcement efforts? What are your thoughts on this situation? Do you believe that ICE's actions were justified, or do you think they contributed to this tragic outcome? Share your perspective in the comments below.